Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us and welcome back to GLF Bonn 2020. My name is Wenji Komora and I'll be your host today. I am working at Deutsche Welle and I'm joining you from Bonn, Germany. There's a lot going on in the world this week and it feels more urgent than ever to gather from across the globe and co-create a safe and just future for ourselves, each other, and our common home on this planet. Today, we're going to dig deeper into the critical question of how to feed a booming global population while preserving vital ecosystem services and reducing the emergence of future pandemics. Now, if you're joining us on the conference app Hoover, please note down in the chat box one thing that you learned yesterday. You know that yesterday we had an exciting start to this 3-day event, fully packed agenda. Let me know what is the one thing that you learned yesterday. And for those of you who missed yesterday's, here's a quick rundown on Bonn GLF 2020. We are the world's largest knowledge-based platform on sustainable land use dedicated to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and Paris Climate Agreement. How? You must be wondering. By connecting, sharing, learning, and acting together on crucial questions such as how to transform our food systems in the service of human and planetary health. Now, you might be watching this from the GLF website or on Facebook or within the conference app Hoover. This is a good moment to get familiar with the Hoover app. There are plenty of tools on there to make this platform more engaging. And if you're watching on Facebook, I do encourage you to join Hoover for just $10 to be able to really participate properly in this event. Today and tomorrow, you'll be having the chance to connect, to share, to learn, and act from wherever you are, because your voice is needed to help change the systems that aren't serving us. Check out the agenda in Hoover to see all the ways to engage. And I want to especially thank everyone who has gotten in touch on Hoover. This is exactly what Hoover is allowing you to do. Get in touch with each and every person who is participating in this conference. Now, over the past few months, we've all experienced an intimate and confronting reminder that we are all in this together, and we need to act like it in order to stay healthy and keep our ecosystems functioning. So how can we feed a growing global population without eating the planet? Today, food systems are one of the largest sources of greenhouse gas emissions, a major driver of deforestation, and the greatest threat to biodiversity. That's why we're here today. Yes, we need to transform the way we produce food, and we need to start now. Are you with me? Please answer my question. What did you learn yesterday in Hoover? Now, for those of you watching in Hoover, check out the agenda on the Hoover app, either on your desktop or on your smartphone. There is so much to immerse yourself in. Get acquainted with the app. You can use it to explore the agenda, signpost sessions you don't want to miss, and to meet new people. If you have any issues with the app or platform, please check out the FAQ document located in Hoover on the left side menu on your desktop or under the FAQ or in the mobile app. If that doesn't answer your question, please get in touch with the event organizer. All right, it's written Ask Organizer Anything tab in the community section. And I saw lots of people interacting and getting help. And people are asking, are these sessions recorded? Where can we get them? These are the kinds of questions that you will definitely get an answer to. Okay. And for most sessions, we offer free translation to Spanish or French. Please click on the session you want to watch. And in the description, you will see a link to translation services entitled Interactio. Yesterday was big. And the stats just tell us that we reached 27.9 million people on social media. And we had over 30,000 engagements. I'll just let that sink in a little. Yes, 27.9 million people were reached just day one. We had over 10,000 views on our sessions yesterday. And personally, I find it incredible that all these people are connecting from across the world for this one big major topic: food in the time of crisis. So let's see what you have answered on Hoover. I am receiving your comments, what you learned yesterday. And it is exciting. I always enjoy learning, hearing from you a lot, because this is digital, man. We are not going back. This is how we engage, we keep in touch, and we share what it is that we are learning. I'm having a bit of technical challenge here, getting on to your comments, but we will get back to that. It's now time to introduce a very, very special guest. And her staunch is just inspiring. Her advocacy for social and environmental justice in our food systems feels particularly relevant in the context of today's clashes and crises. Now, over the past 3 decades, Dr. Vandana Shiva has been campaigning to make our food systems more equal. She has written over 20 books, is a world leader and expert in intellectual property rights around food, biodiversity, biotechnology, bioethics, and genetic engineering. Please help me give a very warm digital welcome to Vandana.
Greetings to all of you wherever you're listening from. I'm trained in physics. I did my PhD in the foundations of quantum theory. If I'm doing agriculture now for the last 35 years, it's because I realized something is very wrong. Agriculture is supposed to be about biodiversity. That's the agriculture I grew up in. It was never supposed to be chemical monocultures. It's supposed to be care for the land. And when you care for the land and you care for biodiversity, those ecosystems and biodiverse relations and their services maintain the pests, they maintain the weeds. You don't have to chop down the forests. Biodiverse ecological systems maintain the cycles of carbon and nitrogen, which are the broken cycles leading to greenhouse gases. I have a book called Soil Not Oil, how 50% of the emissions come from food system. But this food system has also become so clumsy and so violent that it has to invade into forests. The Amazon is burning for GMO soya. The Indonesian forests, rainforests are being destroyed for palm oil. And then it's not that people are asking for this. Indigenous agriculture that has sustained itself 5,000 years in India, 60,000 years in Australia with the Aboriginal wisdom, 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 years is the history of agriculture that did not devour the planet, left it richer. The history of an industrial agriculture is a very recent mistake, and it must be corrected. Must be corrected for the planet, for destroying 75% of the land, 75% of the water, 90% of the biodiversity, destroying the insects with pesticides and insecticides. But even more importantly, it must be changed and given up because it is leading to hunger. It is not doing what it's supposed to do. 1 billion people are hungry. Another 2 billion are sick. And then it's creating disease epidemics, both infectious diseases and chronic diseases. The records are so clear. And I've written about this in my ecological reflections on the coronavirus. 300 new infectious diseases have emerged as agribusiness with an inefficient model of producing commodities has invaded into forest ecosystems. Corona, SARS, Zika, HIV, the list goes on. How many pandemics will we create to maintain a lie that this is a productive system? It uses 10 units of energy to produce 1 unit of food. This is a negative economy. And it's creating diseases because, as all the research in the last 3 decades has shown, most chronic diseases are food related. 1.9 million people are dying every year because of diabetes. Nearly 1 million are dying because of cancer. We don't need this kind of epidemic. An ecological agriculture can address climate change, can address hunger, can address disease. And it enriches the planet, which is our duty. If agriculture is about care for the earth, then we must treat the earth with love. We must treat the soil with love. And we will have more intelligence. We will have more science. I realize one of the most deceptive measures that has promoted this kind of agriculture that has destroyed the planet is the word called yield. It doesn't tell you what state you left the land in. What is the biodiversity? What is the state of the farmers? Why are most of the hungry people today farmers? Why are people being dispossessed from their land? Not because farming leads to deprivation, but because an economic model and an agriculture model is dispossessing the farmers. The yield doesn't tell you what's the quality of your food. More and more research is showing that indigenous breeding is based for increasing nutrition and resilience. One apricot that is a traditional apricot is like 50 apricots bred for chemicals, nutritionally empty toxic commodities. And this is why you are getting the amazing spread of new disease. And even with the corona epidemic, the risk of mortality jumps if you have chronic diseases. It jumps to 9.2% with diabetes, 7.6% with cancer. So pandemics can only be dealt with if we make a shift. And we realize not only do we need biodiversity on the land, which produces more food, we shifted from yield per acre to health per acre in Navdanya. And you can go to the Navdanya website and download this report. We can feed 2 times India's population by protecting, regenerating biodiversity, regenerating soil fertility. The industrial agriculture model is not feeding people, it's feeding greed. 90% of the corn and soya goes for biofuel and animal feed. It's not feeding people. Let us feed the earth, feed the soil, feed the butterflies, feed the mycorrhiza, feed the earthworm, and humans will be fed. I have done this now for 35 years. I've done it scientifically, I've done it in my heart, and I know we can move from a system that degrades the land, degrades our health, degrades the farmers, to a regenerative farming that replenishes the earth with biodiversity. We have 6 times more pollinators on our farm in Navdanya. Our water level has come up 70 feet. This is a system that works. It's been tried for thousands of years. We made a short 50-year error. Let's correct that error and beautify the earth again.
So, such an inspirational speech. Thank you so much, Dr. Shiva. Indeed, we need to move away from a system that simply degrades every other actor that is involved in this system and move to a more restorative kind of system. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are you ready for more? Because there are so many options in store for you today. Now, remember, if you're watching this on social media, buy your just $10 ticket and download the Hoover app to engage and experience fully this incredible conference. Want to dive into some of the biggest global challenges? One of the most important topics right now will be discussed during the One Health session hosted by the United Nations Environmental Programme with Inga Anderson. The session will provide practical policy and investment options for adopting integrated One Health approaches for a healthier world. Now, this will be happening at 11 a.m. CEST. You want to find out how to tackle hunger? Make space for nature in a stable climate. Join the WF session on the Triple Challenge, a sustainable climate, food security, and space for nature from 1 p.m. CEST. Kick off the day with the strongest vegan in the world. Yes, you can be strong and vegan as well. I've had some of these conversations. Please join Patrick, Germany's strongest man in 2011, who will talk about his biggest challenge yet, trying to change the world through our eating habits and relationship to animals. Of course, tune in to the Youth Daily Show at 1200 CEST. Now, if you're wondering what I'm talking about with CEST, you know what to do. If you have the Hoover app, it actually shows you the time in your local time zone. So you don't need to do the calculations, all right? This is just one of the advantages of having the Hoover app, and I will be getting back to your comments on the Hoover app. Now, moving on, do not forget that the learning tracks, measuring progress, finance, and storytelling, whatever floats your boats really, they are here to give you some direction during the conference. Make sure you also join our cooking session, Cooking Lesotho Likobe. Yes, there's gonna be a demonstration and GLF Live, which is actually an informative format that we have of interviewing a renowned African chef, Ska Miriam Moteane, at 11 a.m. CEST. And you want to see what the GLF community is up to? Well, sit back and wind and watch our incredible community contribution, video contribution in the video section. Now, I will quickly read just one comment because of time. Eliza Okashot said she learned Boabab in Benin. It's a win-win-win, nutrition and nature protection and income. This is what I learned. Thank you so much. Please keep telling me, what did you learn on your first day at the GLF Bonn 2020? Now, talking about food might be making you hungry, right? Please, let's learn to cook with Lesotho, Lesotho Likobe with renowned Lesotho chef, Ska Miriam Moteane. Next up, join a live discussion with Ska alongside Barry Boglim, a technical specialist at International NGO Crop Trust who works on preserving stable crop wild relatives, and the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Together, they will discuss sorghum and other drought-tolerant crops to climate change. Please take it away.